Fall is one of the best times of the year to catch bass. You can stack them up with size and numbers if you know what's really going on under the water. But here's the catch. Bass don't feed the same way in September as they do in November. And as the water temperatures drop and the daylight gets shorter, their metabolism slows, bait fish start migrating, and the bass change the way they hunt. Now, if you don't adjust, you'll miss the best bite of the year. So today I'm breaking it down month by month, September, October, November, showing you not just the baits that work, but the science of why bass eat them so you can fish smarter this fall. Let's break it down month by month. September, that's what I am right now, this transition month. September is that awkward middle ground, like you're not quite sure if you need sunscreen or a hoodie. And the water's still warm, usually upper 60s and 70s, but shorter days are pushing bait fish into creeks and coves. And bass, well, they are on the hunt. Warm water equals fast metabolism. Bass are burning energy like crazy, which makes them chase happy. This is why fast moving baits are king right now. Top waters at first light, lipless cranks ripped over the grass, spinner baits and bladed jigs on windy points, and they all scream snack to a bass in September. Square bills are money too, because bass are ambushing around shallow wood and rock. So crash that bait right around cover and it's like the ding dong ditch at their front door. They will react. Now, sometimes you'll see schooling fish blowing up and swiping, but not committing. Now that usually means they're full or they're just really picky. So tossed in a fluke or a Senko and they'll inhale it just because it's easy. Now, September bass are fueled by warm water and daylight, right? So they're in full hunt mode. So fish fast, cover water, and trigger that chase instinct. All right, so lures that get my money, these are gonna be the chatterbait, the jackhammer, a little bit expensive. I think they're like 20 bucks a lure right now. If you don't want that expensive of a bladed jig, try the Evo. On the top water spook, I like the Hedon one knocker. Those are really nice. On the buzzbait, which I think I have hooked up right here, this is going to be the M1 from Brazalo. This is going to be their Pro Buzz on the Venom Frog, which you see right there. When it comes to the fluke, I think I'm just using literally the ones you get at Walmart on the bottom shelf. These are the Creme brand. These are, I believe, the smoke color. Let me show you those. Boom. There it is. And when it comes to the Senko, you can use the cheapos. These are the Yum Dingers. They don't have a quick fall rate. And so if I'm fishing a tournament, I'm always fishing the Yamamoto Senkos. High salt content. They don't last very long, but man, do they get bit. All right, so now let's talk about October. This is gonna be the peak of the fall feed. October's where things get wild. Water temps drop into the 50s and 60s, bait migrates deeper into the creeks, and bass are loading up for the winter like doomsday preppers at frickin' Costco. And here's the biology. Shorter days plus cooler water equal feeding urgency, right? Bass form wolf packs, groups of 5, 10, even 20 fish, herding bait into tight schools and just hammering them, right? So this is spinner bait heaven, whiter chartreuse, double willows on windy, cloudy days, medium diving crankbaits, run those along creek channels, and jerk baits start to play because bass slow down just enough that twitch pause cadence is deadly. Now buzz baits can still wreck them early and late, especially shallow, and swim jigs or paddle tail swim baits are perfect when bass are glued to shad pods. Now October bass are calorie loading machines, right? They're efficient, they're aggressive, and they're group hunting. And once you find them, it's not one fish, it's 5. And it can feel like the bite will never stop. And then when it does, you get to text your buddy who couldn't go fishing with you to brag a little bit. All right, so lures to get my money. This is gonna be the double willow. This is from Picasso Lures. I like this because it has a swing head on it. And what's beautiful about that is whenever you do hook that bass, when they try to throw your lure, they're not gonna use the weight as leverage to throw your hook because it's giving right there at that swing head. So this is really nice. All right, the jerk bait that I like is gonna be this guy. This is gonna be the Berkley Stunna 100. You can also get the 110. Big fan. When it comes to swim jigs, it's on here somewhere. I was throwing it this morning. There we go. When it comes to swim jigs, I like this guy right here. This is gonna be the swim jigs from All Terrain Tackle. Money, and then on the back, this is going to be the Straight King Rage Swimmer 3.75 inch, and this is going to be the KVD Magic color. That KVD Magic color, a lot of times you can just pick up at Walmart. So big fan of the swim jigs. Whenever the swim jig gets hit, it's usually a big girl. All right, so now we're entering into November, late fall to early winter. November is a whole different game, right? The water drops into the 40s and low 50s, and the cold fronts, man, they just get nasty. The bass metabolism slows down, and suddenly the buffet closes, and it's more like an a la carte dining experience. Fewer meals, but usually bigger ones. So what the bass will do is they'll slide into deeper wintering areas, rocky points, creek bends, ledges, and they don't want to chase, they want to ambush. Now the jerkbait's still magic, but the cadence changes, right? You got twitch, twitch, wait long enough to question your life choices, then twitch again. And that's what it's going to take to trigger those lethargic bass. Football head jigs with the crawl trailers are perfect because crawfish move slow in cold water and really easy calories. Let me show you. I was actually catching some today because a lot of the bass today were relating the wood. Where'd it go? There we go. All right, so this is going to be a football head jig. If you've seen those before, this is going to be the crawl. This is a missile D-bomb trailer. This thing flutters through the water as you pull it. Money, money, money. So big fan of that. I think I got 3 on that this morning alone. Also, you can utilize blade baits in that cold of water. I don't know if I have a blade bait with me. I don't think I do. Usually don't carry blade baits until early in the season or late in the season. But blade baits are great, and spoons are really deadly on suspended schools because they mimic dying baitfish fluttering in the chill water, right? And when to get really tough, right, you can break out a Ned rig or a shaky head, right? This is going to be the, okay, fine, I'll eat it option. It's not glamorous, but it works. And don't forget the Alabama rig. Now I have one of these, kind of a mini Alabama rig right here. This is nice because it kind of folds down. It fits in my tackle box. But when you put this thing together and boom, there you go. You got yourself a little mini Alabama rig. This is really a great time for this to shine, right? Nothing says big bait ball like a chandelier of swim baits, right? And it's awkward to throw, but the results can be worth it. But keep in mind, different states have different laws. I know here in Ohio, you can only have 3 hooks. And so if I ever have more than 3, I have to put dummies. And so what I mean by dummies, I mean you have to put some type of willow leaf or Colorado blade on there and not another hook, because you will get a fine if you get caught fishing that way. So the science takeaway to November is November bass are conserving energy, right? They want slower meals, bigger calories, and easy targets. So if you don't slow down with the season, you'll be fishing right past them. November lures that get my money. We've already talked about the jerkbait. It's going to be the Berkeley Stunner. I also will work this guy right here, which is I already got some line on it because I fished it before. This is going to be the 6th Sense Provoke. So if I want to go a little bit deeper or just want a little something little different. When it comes to football head jigs, I don't have any particular football head jig that I will throw over the other. I'm actually running a little low right now, but I usually will stick to the missile D-bomb trailer. And as it gets colder, I will cut down that trailer so it's not super floppy. If it's warm water, I'll let that tail go crazy. If it gets colder water, I will tighten that up and make it more of a compact jig. When it comes to the Ned rig, let me see what I got in here for the Ned rig to show off. So many baits, so little time. All right, so with Ned rigs, I like using the Finesse TRDs from Z-Man. These guys right here. So put a little Ned jig head on there. I know that they make them. I think they're called the Shrooms. I'm not entirely sure. Not coming to my memory. These things are super stretchy, and so they're money. They can keep getting bit time and time again, and they last you a very long time. And then when it comes to a shaky head, these are the hooks I'm going to use. This is going to be a 3/16 shaky head hook. These are from Madmouth Bass, and these are nice right there. So that's a hook. Oh, there you go. So you're going to want to screw on a worm, kind of set it in there, and just kind of throw this out, kind of jiggle the slack line, and just wait for that bite. So some people might consider that boring, but if the bite is tough, and you might want to consider breaking out the old shaky head. All right, so there you go. Fall bass fishing month to month. September, bass are in chase mode. Go fast and cover water. October, bass are wolf packing. Find the bait, you'll find the fish. November, bass slow down, so target deeper structure with slower, more deliberate baits. And if you're just getting into fall bass fishing, don't overthink it. Fish where the bait is. Match what the bass are feeding on and adjust your speed as the water cools. Do that and you won't just survive the fall, you will crush it. All right, so I really want to know in the comments below, let me know what lure you love for the month that you love it in. Now, if you are a beginner bass angler, or maybe you did it when you were a kid and you're now getting back into it, right? After many years, you're like, what the crap? Well, I have a video series for you, how to fish with no experience, and it's currently at 200,000 views. You can check that out, that whole playlist right there. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.